Developing color film seems like one of those things that would be a lot harder than it actually is, and today we're going to do just that with CineStill's C41 Color Simplified. So I have already developed one roll using this concoction that CineStill has released, and it comes in two parts. One is developer, and one is a Blix, which is the bleach fix combination chemical. Mixing it is super easy. You just heat your water to 100 degrees and follow the directions. It's impossible to mess up. But the first step is to get your chemicals up to 102 degrees Fahrenheit. I do so by using this water bath and a sous vide machine. But if you don't have a sous vide machine, you could always use, let's say, running hot water from the tap. And I didn't put enough in. Now let's see if I can blow a couple circuit breakers by trying to do this in my office instead of the bathroom. So what the sous vide does is fairly obvious. It maintains the temperature and circulates the water. CineStill actually makes one of these that comes in a kit, and it's way too overpriced, so I just ordered a cheap one off Amazon for like 49 bucks. To monitor my temperature, I use a meat thermometer that I stole off our fridge, and nobody knows that I took it yet. So now that I got my chemicals warming up in my sous vide bath, next comes the hard part. Loading your film onto the roll in complete darkness. But lucky for you, I already messed up one roll a long time ago and can use it to show you how to do it if you don't know how. This is a Paterson tank. You will either need this or something very much like it to develop your own film at home. When sealed properly, it is a light, tight container that prevents your film from being exposed and allows you to develop it in a smaller home setting. This is the reel on which you will be loading your 35mm film, or 120. I have the 35 set up because I'm too poor for medium format. So I don't have a macro lens that will function for how to show you how to do this, so I'm just going to show you from a distance and hope you figure it out on your own. Let's see if I can fix my focus here. What I prefer to do is cut the end off so it sits flush like this to make loading it into the reel much easier. You take your reel, and you will find, if you slide it right in here, and just crank away, Meryl, crank away. Now make sure you're doing this in complete darkness or you're going to have a bad time and ruin all of your film. When you have successfully, hopefully, loaded your film onto your reel, it should look a little something like this. And you're going to fight with it. It's not going to go well the first time. Just accept that. Don't shoot anything important on that first roll of film that you want to try to develop. If you've never developed with the Paterson tank before, you're going to be fighting for your life against this reel in the darkness unless you practice a lot before you do it. And I know you're impatient. You're just going to try to do it because you think you can. So just accept the fact that you're going to kill a roll or two. Today, we're going to be developing some Fuji 200, which I shot with my Fuji Mini Cardia Elite. This is not the film I'm going to be developing. This is just a test roll to show you guys how to do it. I need to go into my dark room and actually load something onto this reel in complete darkness so I don't ruin it, which is a perfect time to wait for this to heat up. I'll be back in a minute. I thought of something I forgot to mention. While you're heating up your chemicals, toss in a bottle of purified or distilled water. That way you can use it for your final rinse to reduce the chance of spots appearing on your film. Try to let it get to right around the same temperature as your developer. That smells hot. One thing you need to do before you begin developing your film is that you need to give your film a pre-wash using 102 degree water. I typically use tap water because it rinses off in the process of developing, it rinses off in the process of the final rinse, so it's not really something that I'm too worried about, but if you're worried about it, you can use some RO water or distilled water to do that. Two more things that I use in my process are these two funnels. I use the red for my developer and the white for my Blix. Make sure you do not contaminate your developer with any of the Blix or your developer is completely done and useless. You cannot use it, it is gone. So as your chemicals are reaching the 102 degrees mark, go ahead and get yourself a timer. I use my phone as a timer. It's going to be 3 minutes and 30 seconds for the developing part of this. You can download the massive dev chart app for like $9, but I just use my phone because that's what I've always used, even when I was doing black and white. We're getting really close to the 102 degree mark, so let's get ready. There's 102 right there. Rinse off my thermometer, pull my developer out, hit start. Try not to get these chemicals on you. I should be wearing gloves, but I'm careless. And agitate it for the first 10 seconds or so. For my agitations, I just do 4 inversions. It says to stir with the stick. I prefer inversions. Give it a thunk to get rid of the air bubbles in there, and just let it sit. So you're gonna need to agitate this with 4 inversions every 30 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I like to get my developer ready to be put back into the bottle when this process is done. It's a whole lot of waiting, isn't it? And apparently my Paterson tank is leaking a little bit. Just make sure you don't get it on your skin regularly. That can't be good for you. Wash your hands with soap and water when you're done as well. We're coming up on the final inversion for this before I dump it back into my developer. Make sure it's ready to go. Move my phone so I don't end up trashing it. 10 seconds left. Let's take the lid off of our Paterson tank. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna dump it out. Back into the developing bottle. Make sure you get as much of the developer out as you can. This Blix will stain you, everything you own, everything. Try not to get it on you. I'm gonna do my best because I'm unprepared and forgot to buy gloves for this video. And in. Hit start on your 8-minute timer. Cap your chemicals correctly. I use a towel when I'm inverting my Blix. 1, 2, 3, 4. I burp it in between every inversion. And you can take this time to update your social media, telling everybody how it's awesome that you're developing your own film and just hoping it turns out so you don't look like an idiot when you actually release it and they look like shit. Normally, you'd want to keep this in your water bath, but I haven't had any problems with it. Everything has turned out fine, but that's your prerogative, man. While we have a minute and this is brewing, I do want to take some time to tell you that the full review of the Fuji Mini Cardia will be coming out soon. I just want to have some extra photos for it before I actually get to that review. So if you do want to see that video, make sure you subscribe now, click that little bell icon down there so you can follow along with all the dumb shit I'm doing. Make sure you get out as much Blix as possible. I just toss that in the water bath to rinse it off before I do my dishes at the end. Now, it's time for me to go rinse this. You aren't coming with me. Just go ahead and use tap water for that. Just make sure you use distilled, purified, something like that for your final rinse. I'm not going to film that because I don't want to haul all my stuff into the bathroom. Just know that I rinsed it under 102-degree tap water. The instructions say to rinse it for 3 minutes underneath the tap water. Just go ahead and do that. All right, I'm back. And I have my developed film with me, and it's time for my final rinse, which I used this purified water for that we got ready earlier. So this is light safe now. You should be good to open it. So one water bottle should cover both reels in a 35mm Paterson tank for double reel. I'm in the process of switching over to an RO system, so I don't have to be using a bunch of plastic that I don't want to be using. And that should make things a lot more affordable and easier. So I already gave it my rinse in the 102-degree water, which was just tap water, but there's a lot of minerals and stuff in there. It can leave water spots. So I always finish off all of my film with a bottle of purified water. And that, my friends, is a developed roll of 35mm color film. The only thing left to do is hang it and dry it. If you want to speed up the drying process, just fling the shit out of it. And carefully, and I mean carefully, you should probably be using gloves to handle these, but again, I'm out of them. I forgot to buy more. I suck at this. Remove your film from the reel. Maybe. The last time I did this, I dropped my film and got it covered in dust from my floor. So, that was awesome. But don't worry, because after it dries, we get to scan it. Now that you have your film developed and hanging to dry, now you can take care of the whole mess you made. And make sure you get the Blix right away, because if you don't, everything is stained. Everything. It will not come off. It is stained, man. It's stained. Make sure you put your chemicals back somewhere dark and cool, so that way it extends the life of them. I keep mine in my mini fridge. The same place I keep my film. Make sure if you're using a sous vide, you let that bad boy cool down, because otherwise you're gonna burn the living shit out of yourself. Ask me how I know. And that's it. That's C41. It's not that hard. It's easier than developing black and white and Rodinal. So I was scared of it for no reason, you were scared of it for no reason, but we got through it together. And look, this is not a professional setup, man. If I can do it here, you can do it there.